Hey everyone. So something around you is moving in a way you may have only sensed quietly until now. It isn't dramatic. It doesn't arrive with fireworks or announcements. It comes as a subtle awareness, a feeling in your chest or mind that things don't need to be heavy in order to matter. You may have noticed it in small moments, a sigh that lingers longer than usual, a pause in your day that feels like a gentle invitation to notice yourself, or a fleeting thought that life might not have to be such a struggle. You may have been carrying tension about what you should be doing, about proving yourself, about keeping up appearances, and now you could feel the pressure softening, not because anything has changed externally, but because your perception of it may be shifting. That shift is delicate. It feels like an internal exhale, a subtle recalibration of energy, where comfort and awareness start to coexist. You might notice that ease has a presence in your life that you've overlooked. It could appear as small windows of calm, a conversation that feels unexpectedly gentle, a task that doesn't demand overexertion, or a moment where you simply feel lighter than expected. These moments may feel fleeting, yet their emotional weight lingers. You may catch yourself wondering why it feels unusual to not be straining, why receiving care or comfort without effort feels almost foreign. There's a subtle invitation here. You're being encouraged, softly, to notice what it feels like when you stop moving against the current of your own energy, to feel the difference between pushing constantly and simply being present. That awareness may awaken a curiosity you didn't realize was dormant, a curiosity about what life feels like when friction eases, when you allow yourself small freedoms without judgment. It's possible that you've been conditioned to equate struggle with value and comfort with complacency. But here, what you're sensing isn't complacency, it's a gentle recalibration, noticing how small moments of ease can coexist with focus, attention, and intention. You may feel more sensitive to these moments, recognizing them as subtle markers of growth rather than rewards or guarantees. This may also lead you to notice how your body responds differently now. Your chest might feel lighter, your shoulders may drop their habitual tension. You may feel a soft curiosity about how daily life could flow without constant effort, without strain, without needing to control every detail. That alone can feel slightly unsettling because it's unfamiliar but also profoundly engaging. Take a moment here to simply notice this shift. You don't have to label it, you don't have to act on it. Just feel the difference between tension and softness, between obligation and allowance, between performance and presence. That awareness itself is an invitation, a gentle opening. One of the most delicate aspects of this energy is the possibility of receiving fully, not receiving as a reward or outcome, but receiving as a simple experience. You may have noticed moments where love, comfort, or acknowledgement has been offered, but your mind hesitated, doubted, or calculated. That hesitation may not indicate mistrust, it may simply reveal the unfamiliarity of letting things land without overanalyzing. You may have been the strong one for a long time, holding space for others, giving your energy generously, and prioritizing action over reception. And now, there's a subtle challenge in learning how to allow the same care or comfort for yourself. Receiving fully asks nothing of you except presence. You're not required to repay, respond, or perform. You are simply asked to notice and perhaps let it move through you. It's possible that your relationship with ease and abundance feels slightly tentative. You might notice yourself questioning, am I worthy of this moment? Does it count if I don't do something in return? These questions are natural. They arise because receiving without obligation is not a pattern we often experience consciously. And yet, the energy here seems to be inviting trust in your own capacity to feel fully without needing external validation. You might also notice how the mind interjects. Thoughts about what is deserved, what is earned, or what might happen if you simply let go could arise. Those thoughts aren't wrong, they're part of the process. What matters is observing them without feeling compelled to act on them. You may sense that moments of softness aren't about outcomes, they're about presence, perception, and subtle inner alignment. There's a quiet beauty in noticing hidden feelings, both yours and those around you, without feeling pressure to interpret or act on them. Perhaps there's someone whose energy feels warm toward you, or perhaps it's simply life's rhythm offering acknowledgement where previously there was tension. That recognition is enough. You don't need proof or confirmation. You don't need guarantees. The mere noticing can feel like a gentle unfolding, like a river flowing without you needing to steer it. You may also find that allowing yourself to receive without resistance begins to affect your perception of challenges. Small tasks, minor stresses, even moments of uncertainty might start to feel slightly lighter. Not because circumstances change, but because your approach softens, your awareness becomes more fluid. You may find that observing rather than resisting allows clarity to appear naturally in ways you hadn't anticipated. This is not a promise, it is a possibility. And as you explore it, you may notice shifts in your energy that feel subtle yet significant. Moments of gratitude may become more frequent, not because something is owed to you, but because you are more receptive to noticing what is already present. You may feel calmer, you may feel steadier, and you may begin to see that softness is not passivity, it's a quiet foundation of strength. As this energy continues to settle, you may notice a change in how you engage with your own life. There is a potential for steadiness, not through control, but through awareness, not through forcing, but through noticing, not through certainty, but through attention. That steadiness may feel like a form of quiet power, the kind that doesn't demand recognition, but subtly shifts how you inhabit your space and your choices. You may feel that certain actions, habits, or routines now carry more intentionality, not because you must act differently, but because your perspective has shifted. You notice friction more readily, and you may naturally move toward ease. Not as a guarantee of outcomes, not as a promise, but simply as a reflection of subtle alignment with yourself. It's possible that you'll observe differences in how others respond to this softer presence. Maybe energy flows differently around you. Maybe conversations feel calmer, more authentic. Maybe you notice less tension in interactions. None of this is cause and effect. None of it is guaranteed. It is simply an awareness of how your presence can subtly affect your environment when you are grounded in ease. There is also an invitation here to notice self-worth, not in comparison to others, not in outcomes or validations, but as a recognition of your own capacity to exist fully in this softer rhythm. You may feel that protecting your energy becomes less about restriction and more about conscious choice, being present without overextending, noticing without forcing. If this resonates, take a moment to breathe with it. Let the sense of calm curiosity settle in. You may feel a gentle confidence in your ability to move through life with less tension and more awareness. That confidence is not loud. It does not demand acknowledgement, but it is steady. It is grounded. It is yours. And as this moment concludes, you may notice that softness and awareness coexist naturally with focus, discernment, and clarity. You can receive life as it is. You can notice abundance, comfort, or connection without pressure. You can remain observant and present without needing to define or control outcomes. All you're invited to do is notice. Allow yourself to feel fully. Observe your responses. Appreciate moments of ease without expectation. And in that awareness, there is a quiet power, a subtle confidence that doesn't rely on certainty, manipulation, or guarantees, but simply on your ability to be fully present with yourself and your life. You may not need to earn these moments. You may simply notice that they exist, and that noticing is enough. That gentle awareness, that capacity to receive softly may feel like a shift. And perhaps as you carry it forward, you will see life as slightly more spacious, slightly lighter, and more attuned to your own rhythm, one mindful step at a time.